how to DJ without a controller. I'm DJ Spiegel Spin, and I'm gonna show you how. Now this video is for people that never DJ'd before and for people that have been DJing for 20 years and are professional DJs. It's for anyone who wants to know how to DJ without using a controller. Now, controllers are great because you could feel all the knobs and press all the buttons and all the sliders, and you could have a lot more control than if you were using a touchscreen. So in this video, I'm going to show you ways to work around the difficulties that might come from when you're just DJing with an iPad, or even if you're just DJing with a phone. So let's get started. If you want to DJ without a controller, you have some options. Some are better and some are worse. My number one recommendation would be DJing with the iPad. This gives you a big screen. You could see all the menus. You could have good control over all the sliders and the buttons. And it's much better than using a laptop. With a laptop that has no touchscreen, it's very difficult to use the keyboard and the mouse to try to DJ. So I would recommend, if you're not going to use a controller, is to get an iPad Pro. And let's say if you just start out and you don't know if you're going to like DJing and you just want to try it, I would recommend just DJing with your phone. So there's going to be some differences when you're not DJing with a controller. And the biggest difference would be the sound card. So with a controller like this, it has a built-in sound card. So you would plug your music output into here, and then you could plug headphones into here, and then you could use the headphones for pre-queuing, and you don't need any type of adapters. Now, if we're just DJing without a controller, and let's say we're just using our iPad, now what we're going to need is we're going to need some type of adapters, kind of like this, because this has just one port and it's a USB-C port. So you're going to need an adapter to go into the USB-C port, and then you're going to need to be able to plug in headphones, and then you're also going to need a way to charge the iPad, because if the iPad dies, your set dies. So having a charged iPad is very important, so it's going to require adapters. Another way to do it is, if you don't want it to be hardwired, you could use Bluetooth. But now with Bluetooth, there is going to be a delay. There's going to be latency, and it's not going to be spot on. Now, to work around that, you just have to change up your technique. I made a whole video on how to DJ with Bluetooth, so you guys could watch that if you want a more detailed explanation. But basically, you're going to use the sync button because it's going to be impossible to beat match by ear because of the latency with the Bluetooth. And then you could do more subtle mixes, like maybe just have two songs playing, press the sync button, slowly slide over the crossfader, and stuff like that. And then you don't need a DJ booth, you don't need anything. You could just be dancing around the party, DJing on your iPad with Bluetooth. This is good for small parties where you don't really need a DJ booth, and nobody's really the DJ is not the main focus, and they just want music in the background. That's perfect. Just put it on Bluetooth. Make sure your the iPad Pro, the battery will last long enough for a party, so you could, on a full battery, get away with DJing the whole set by holding your iPad and it on Bluetooth. So that's what you have to think. If you're going to DJ without a controller, you might want to consider doing more casual DJing. So scratchings, even though scratching is possible, and in my videos I show you how to do it with the iPad, maybe you're not going to go as intense, and you're going to have to dull down your set because you don't have access to all these buttons. The app that I recommend for DJing with the iPad is Djay Pro. This app is insane and has so many great features. So I'm going to show you really quick how to get started, how to load a song and stuff like that, so you could start DJing right after this video. So when you first open the app, you're going to see this screen, and it's going to have two decks, and that look like a classic vinyl setup. So now we're gonna add a song over here. You guys could use local music that's already on your device, and then you could use streaming services. And this is what makes it really cool, because if you wanted to start DJing, you just download this app, sign up for the free trial for a streaming service, and then you could DJ with millions and millions of songs. So the one I use and the one I recommend is Tidal. They also have integrations with SoundCloud and Beatport, but Tidal, I feel like it has the most playlist and has the most popular songs. So I use Tidal, and then you go over here, you search what you want to search. Anything. I'm using royalty-free music for this video, but you guys could search 50 Cent. And then you just load it onto a deck. And then once it's on the deck, you are free to manipulate the song, speed it up, slow it down, add effects, and do all of that. So to start the song, there's a play button over here. That's the play. That's pause. This button, you could set it at a spot in the song. It's called the cue. You set it. And then when you press this cue button, it'll play it from that part. So pick a part of the song that you want to start, and then press set, and it's set. So now if you wanted to mix two songs together, what you guys could do is go over here, and for two songs to play at the same time, you have to have the same BPM. So what I would recommend if you're just starting out is to hit the sync button, have sync on, have one song playing, and then choose a time, play the next song, and now one song is going to end and the other song is going to continue playing. So this is a very simple mix. To get started DJing, it's very simple. For me, when I first started, some of my friends DJ'd and I watched them, and I wanted to learn how to DJ. And as soon as I was able to pick a song and load it into the deck, then I figured it out from there. So the point is to keep having songs playing. So even if you're not the smoothest at mixing, and even if you just let one song end and the next song play, you're still DJing, you're still keeping the party going, and then you will learn the more advanced techniques. I made videos on how to beat match, videos on how to scratch, and just open the app, load up some songs, and if you already know how to DJ, if you've DJed before with other software and stuff like that, you'll be able to pick it up really fast, because this app is really realistic, and it's basically like a real DJ simulator. So these jog wheels are active. You can spin it back, you could spin it forward, you can do a little scratching. And there's so much stuff you could do. They give you access to samplers, and they even have a looper. So definitely mess around with all of these and find which features will fit with your style of DJing or the style of DJing that you plan on doing. You also have access to DJ with music videos through Tidal, which is really cool, and I definitely recommend checking that out. And there's classic mode, and then there's 2-deck mode where you have more access to the effects, and then more this one's more like Serato or Tractor, and classic mode is more like a vinyl simulator. You also have access to 4 decks, and the coolest thing in my opinion is auto mix. So you could just take a playlist, set it on auto mix, and it uses artificial intelligence to mix the songs. So let's say you're doing a small party and you want to be able to enjoy the party like it's a family party. You could just DJ for a little bit and then set the playlist to auto mix and walk away, and it'll do professional mixes with artificial intelligence. So thanks for watching. I make videos on how to DJ with the iPad and the future of DJing, and just DJing that most people wouldn't think of or a lot of people aren't talking about. So subscribe to this channel and give this video a like. Thank you.